Namaskaram, this is Sangeeta Laura Biaggi, and I would like to take this moment as an opportunity to share some feedback that I'm receiving from the students of the residential Nada Yoga training who were here at Ananda Ashram for 2 weeks from March 2nd to March 16th. So when we are in sadhana, especially when we are in the Gurukulam, hello everybody, this is Bukash. So when we are here, okay, there's this energy, right? There's this prana, and we are blessed by the presence, of course, of the guru, the family, and the images, the books, the places where the teachers themselves live and have taught, and the group energy itself. So it is always a little bit easier to practice together and to overcome the tamasic tendencies, the inertia that we naturally feel as human beings. Those regressive and lethargic energies that want our personality to stay the same, not to change. So what happens when then we come back home? What happens when we go home? What happens when we are back into an old routine, or we are away physically from the place of origin of the teachings? What happens then? Most of us feel a moment of euphoria at first, and then things become a little bit difficult. They become difficult because we miss the energy, we miss the sounds, we miss the benevolent presence of the acharyas, of the guru especially. And also, most of us live, if not completely alone, at least with one or two family members who may understand and support, but may not completely get the experience we've been through. Or other times it's just difficult with the weather or the type of food we have access to, and so on. So some of the messages I received today were about that, and they made me remember how I felt, especially the first few times I was coming to the ashram to study. I think that when we are in doubt, we can always go back to the scriptures to realize that it's not just us that we're facing these challenges. So for example, in the Yoga Sutra of Maharishi Patanjali, when Maharishi Patanjali describes, or teaches rather, the teachings on the Pranava Om, and says that the Pranava Om is the sound of Ishwara, the guru of gurus, who is beyond the kleshas and karma, and therefore is beyond attraction, repulsion, the sense of time, the sense of personality, and all of the negative emotions that come up with the with the personal traits. I like this, I like that, I'd rather do this, I'd rather do that, and then therefore all of the negative emotions of envy, jealousy, lack of self-esteem, and so on. So Patanjali says Ishwara is the guru beyond the kleshas and the karmas, and the sound of the guru and the sound of that Ishwara is the Pranava Om, the mantra of mantras, the mantra of the vibration that existed before manifestation, Pranava. And then it says that when repeated with bhava, when repeated with emotion, with positive emotion, with devotion even, and continuously, they help us, this repetition, this japa, help us overcome the antarayas, the navantarayas, 9 obstacles on the path. And 2 of the obstacles out of 9 have to do with the ability to maintain, ability to attain and then maintain this sadhana, or a state of beyond the ignorance of manifested reality, that we're not just this body, we're not just our personality, that we are a soul, that we are a jivatma that is experiencing this through this incarnation. So one of the ways to overcome this sense of isolation, or the sense of separation, or the sense of lack of regularity, rhythm and repetition that Amaji, Puja Amaji teaches us is the key to sadhana, is to remember the Om. And so even if we don't have the energy, or we don't have, you know, the prana, or the opportunity to sit and repeat the Pranava Om many times for several repetitions. Somebody's washing clothes here. It's just begging them to clean them. This is what the Pranava Om does to our personality. It's perfect. It just bashes it and cleans our personality. So anyways, even just the thought of repeating the Om inside of ourselves. So instead of thinking, okay, I feel so tired, I'm not even able to do the sadhana, and what should I do, and I miss my friends, and I miss the guru, and oh my God. Okay, when we feel that those emotions come up like that, just simply taking a breath and repeating Om, Om, Om. Just 3 times, or more than 3 times, 9 times. You know, this can really help us to catch the negative emotions and to remember that we are not separate, we're all one. Another example, and of course this is fairly superficial sharing because of time, of a YouTube video, of course, but another wonderful teaching to remember is, of course, always the one of Arjuna and Lord Shri Bhagavat Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Because the enemies that Arjuna is facing are really inside. Of course, he has to go into battle and battle his own family, his own, you know, relatives. But that's also, one can also see it as a metaphor of battling one's comfortable traits inside of ourselves, which need to be fought, need to be overcome. And so these examples remind us that ever since there has been a sadhana, there has been a tendency to not practice, to not follow our dharma, to feel dejected, to feel lazy, to feel lethargic, to feel like I don't have what it takes. I just don't have what it takes to follow the sadhana. What am I supposed to do? And the teachings are always just remember that you are God. Remember that I am God and I'm in you. Remember that you have this divine spark inside, that you are the divine spark incarnate. And the challenge is to remember. The challenge is really to remember, not to do 1,000,000 Surya Namaskars and 40 million japas of the Pranava Om. And well, great, if you can do that, those are great. But it's just catching that moment of dejection and remembering I'm not alone. This is part of the sadhana, is to overcome the dejection. That's why many scriptures, and again, Maharishi Patanjali lists virya and shraddha as some of the qualities of the aspirant. Strength, focus, the tapasya, the heat that attention develops. There's an inner strength that you need to develop, that we need to develop. And it's not that you are a good practitioner and therefore you got it, or you're a bad practitioner, you don't get it. You know, it's not that. It's the discipline of rising again and doing your best and watching a video like this, or the video of our, you know, beloved Acharya Guruji, Dr. Nanda. So many videos are there. So many teachings are there. Just do anything, the smallest thing to stay on path. And above all, silence the voices, the negative voices inside that make you feel like you don't have what it takes to live a healthy and happy life. Those are projections of the personality, projections of the dark side of the personality, which we must learn how to love by understanding what it is. It's simply the animal nature that wants us to be comfortable and to survive. It doesn't like us to change, even if it's change for the positive. So, I feel you. basically, the last affirmation is in a nutshell what I feel is that I feel you, that we're all in this together and that you're not alone. And I decided to do this video for the students at first, but then I thought that hopefully it could be helpful for someone else, you know, because even for me, just watching it again a few times when I fall. So thank you all so much. Blessings from Ananda Ashram. This is our beautiful dining hall here for our residential programs for the students. And this is the magnificent garden. And of course, Bukash on the steps.